I'm going to show you how to set up and use the workflows in MotorDesk, which is found under the business menu. The first thing you need to do is name the workflow, which will contain a series of tasks. So if we call this repair vehicle, you can add an optional description if you like. Then we can simply start adding our tasks. So if this one is repairs, and you can add a location to it as well. For certain tasks, it might be beneficial to have a set of instructions before beginning work on the vehicle. So you can click before task begins and then either request instructions, which means it's optional, or require instructions. With either of these options selected, when a member of staff assigns the workflow to a vehicle, a text box will appear allowing them or requiring them to enter a set of instructions. I'll leave this one selected so that I can show you that later in the video. We then have a couple of notification options. So this is firstly for when the task begins. You can choose who is notified. You can select multiple people. You can also send external email notifications or SMS notifications. And then you also have a set of notifications for when the task is completed. The handover section allows you to choose what information is required to complete the task. So this might be an electronic signature and a final condition report. Once you're happy with the task and its details, you can simply press Save Workflow. You can then add a new task by pressing Insert Task here. And then we might do MOT. Again, same location. We won't require instructions for this one. Let's notify Michael when it starts. And then we might want it to get signed off at the end. And then simply save that one again. And we can add a third. And then we can just leave that one quite open. So now we can see that under the prepare vehicle workflow, we have repairs, MOT, and a valet. Now, if we go back up to business workflows, you'll see that this one is here and it's got 3 tasks assigned to it. All of your workflows will appear here. I'll show you now how to assign it to a vehicle. So in this column here where we have no workflow, we can simply click on that and assign from the list of workflows that we have. Once you've selected it, click Select Workflow. Now, because on the repairs task we required instructions, as you can see from this notification here, instructions will need to be added in order to continue. There's also an option to add attachments, images, whatever you like. And then we just click Start Workflow. The tasks in the workflow need to be completed in order, so you won't be able to move on to the MOT or the valet until you've completed the repairs. If you need to rearrange the order of tasks for a particular vehicle, you can just click Edit Workflow and then use these arrows here to reorder the tasks. If we hadn't selected the condition report and signature from the hand down option of this task, you could just continue. But as we have requested those, we need to enter the signature and the condition report. Then we can simply click Save and Done, and we move on to the next task. At any point, you can go back into the Browse Vehicles menu and you will see where you are at this stage of the workflow. So we can see we're on task 2 of 3. The Browse Vehicles section also shows any vehicles that are awaiting mandatory instructions. You can assign the same workflow to multiple different vehicles. And there's a quick way to check which vehicles are assigned to each workflow by clicking the Vehicles menu and going to Workflow Overview. And you can see that this one is at the MOT stage, this one's at the repairs stage. If you want to change the order of the tasks for the workflow as a whole, you need to go back into Business Workflows. Clicking into the workflow, you can rearrange any of the tasks just with these 2 arrows here. Changing the order of the tasks on a workflow will not change the order of the tasks on a workflow that's already been assigned.